It was a $99 billion mistake, a financial wipeout of unprecedented scale. The AOL Time Warner merger, launched in 2001, promised a revolutionary future, combining new media, internet speed, with established content might. This ambitious deal represented an unprecedented gamble on convergence, where millions of dial-up users from America Online would integrate seamlessly with the vast entertainment empire of Time Warner, which included CNN, Warner Brothers, and Time Magazine. Hopes were astronomically high, envisioning a powerhouse that would dominate both digital and traditional landscapes. Yet, the vision quickly unraveled. The internet bubble burst almost immediately after the merger, creating immense pressure on AOL's advertising revenue and subscriber growth. AOL had some 30 million subscribers at its peak, a colossal user base for the early internet age. Time Warner was a century-old company steeped in traditional media practices. The cultural divide proved insurmountable. One side moved with rapid internet speed, the other with slower, methodical media production. Integrating their vastly different corporate cultures proved nearly impossible, leading to internal conflicts and stalled initiatives. The dot-com bust hit hard in 2001 and 2002, severely devaluing AOL's core business. The combined entity's market value plummeted by a staggering $99 billion in just 1 year. This massive write-down, declared in 2002, became one of the largest corporate losses in history. The stock price, which had once soared, quickly crashed, leaving countless investors reeling from the immense destruction of wealth. Many top executives from both companies found themselves in untenable positions, leading to significant leadership changes. The grand strategy to create a seamless media giant faltered under the weight of incompatible operating models and market realities. The dream of uniting content distribution and creation through a single entity proved far more complex and costly than anyone had anticipated. This colossal failure served as a stark lesson for future media and technology mergers. The initial hype and massive financial investment failed to overcome fundamental differences in business models and corporate philosophies. Shareholders endured a precipitous decline in value, watching billions evaporate. The combined company struggled for years to shed its inherited problems and regain market confidence. The vision of digital dominance was completely eclipsed by financial ruin. It stands as a cautionary tale about the perils of overvaluation and cultural misalignment in the corporate world, impacting thousands of employees and millions of investors. This colossal enterprise ultimately ended in a demerger a decade later, signifying the complete reversal of its original ambitious goal. The initial value of the deal was roughly $162 billion at its peak, and the subsequent losses were devastating. The integration challenges were profound, impacting everything from internal communications to product development. This monumental error reshaped perceptions of media convergence for decades to come, demonstrating that size alone does not guarantee success. The entire saga cost fortunes and careers for innumerable individuals. Hundreds of billions vanished into thin air. The AOL Time Warner dream quickly became a corporate nightmare for countless individuals. The initial $99 billion write-down in 2002 was merely the opening act of an 8-year-long financial bleed. Top executives like Gerald Levin and Steve Case found their visions clashing aggressively, creating immediate internal strife across 29 distinct business units. Time Warner employees, numbering in the tens of thousands across 6 continents, often resisted the fast-paced internet culture of AOL's digital side, creating significant operational friction for over 5 years. AOL's core business suffered a relentless decline as dial-up internet faded faster than anyone predicted, losing approximately 7 million subscribers annually after 2002. The advertising revenue stream for AOL, once a significant contributor, plummeted by over 50% in the wake of the dot-com bust, a loss of hundreds of millions of dollars. Promised cross-promotional ventures between media giants like CNN and Warner Bros. With AOL's platform rarely delivered tangible results, despite over $500 million invested in integration efforts. The combined entity consistently missed quarterly financial targets, leading to widespread investor disappointment and a 3/4 reduction in market value. Richard Parsons stepped in as CEO in 2003, facing the Herculean task of unwinding this mess and restoring shareholder confidence within a 5-year window. He began divesting non-essential assets like the Six Flags theme parks, generating billions in sales to reduce the massive debt burden accumulated from the merger's $162 billion price tag. The company's stock price, which once soared above $70 per share, plummeted to low single digits by 2004, destroying immense wealth for millions of shareholders. Thousands of jobs were cut across various divisions, with estimates reaching 20,000 layoffs, affecting families from New York to California over a period of 7 years. Iconic brands under the Time Warner umbrella, such as HBO, producing award-winning shows, and Time Magazine's venerable weekly editions, felt the drag of AOL's persistent underperformance for nearly a decade. The constant internal battles over strategy, resource allocation, and technology platforms crippled innovation and growth for years, delaying critical digital transformation initiatives by 3 to 4 years. Finally, in 2009, nearly a decade after its inception, the company demerged into 2 separate entities, AOL Inc. and Time Warner Inc., acknowledging complete failure. AOL's market value at separation was a tiny fraction of its pre-merger valuation, perhaps less than 1/10 of its peak worth, a devastating 90% decline. Time Warner, though, freed from AOL's drag, was a much diminished company, having lost billions in market capitalization and strategic focus for almost 10 years. This colossal failure became a textbook example of corporate hubris and the perils of ignoring cultural compatibility, especially when dealing with over 100,000 employees globally. The financial wreckage spanned multiple quarters and years, affecting millions of shareholders and employees who watched their investments and careers impacted by this flawed strategy for over half a decade. This era-defining mistake shaped future media mergers for 2 decades to come, emphasizing due diligence and realistic synergy projections over blind ambition, a painful lesson etched into corporate history. $70 became just a few pennies. The AOL Time Warner merger was a spectacular unraveling. Richard Parsons took the helm as CEO in 2003, facing an immense challenge to fix the $162 billion disaster within a 5-year timeframe. A daunting task indeed. He immediately began selling off non-essential parts of the massive corporation. Properties like the Six Flags theme parks were sold off, generating billions in sales. This was crucial for chipping away at the enormous debt accumulated from the ill-fated acquisition. The company's stock price, which had once proudly stood above $70 per share, had already plummeted to low single digits by 2004, utterly destroying immense wealth for millions of shareholders. The human cost was devastating. Thousands of jobs were eliminated across various divisions, with estimates suggesting 20,000 layoffs impacted families from New York to California, over a painful 7-year period. Iconic brands under the Time Warner umbrella, such as HBO, known for its award-winning shows, and Time Magazine, with its venerable weekly editions, felt the relentless drag of AOL's persistent underperformance for nearly an entire decade. The constant internal battles over strategy, resource allocation, and even technology platforms crippled innovation and stifled growth for years on end. Critical digital transformation initiatives were delayed by 3 to 4 years because of this internal strife. Finally, in 2009, nearly a full decade after its initial creation, the company officially demerged into 2 separate entities. These were AOL Inc. and Time Warner Inc., an official acknowledgement of complete and utter failure. AOL's market value at the point of separation was a tiny fraction of its pre-merger valuation, perhaps less than 1/10 of its peak worth, representing a devastating 90% decline. Time Warner, although now free from the heavy burden of AOL, was a much diminished company, having lost billions in market capitalization and significantly losing strategic focus for almost 10 long years. This colossal corporate failure became a textbook example cited widely as a warning about corporate hubris and the severe perils of ignoring cultural compatibility, especially when dealing with a global workforce exceeding 100,000 employees. The financial wreckage spanned multiple quarters and years, affecting millions of shareholders and employees who watched their investments and careers impacted by this flawed strategy for over half a decade. This era-defining mistake shaped future media mergers for 2 decades to come, emphasizing rigorous due diligence and realistic synergy projections over blind ambition. It was a painful lesson etched deeply into corporate history for all to see and learn from for generations to come.